This is how you cheat. This is quite literally cheating, manipulation of votes. Call it what you want to call it. This is cheating, but we are not putting up with it anymore. The GOP brings suit against Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats. Today was a big, big deal. It'll be one of the things that media is just going to sweep under the rug. So I felt really prompted to make a video so you guys understand what's happening. So pay attention to what I say in this video. It's important that you understand, because this will be one of the things that gets swept under the rug, and what you do here will be lies. But real quick, guys, before we get into it, I'm Jared. This is RedRacer Video. I'm a car guy who spent years on his YouTube channel, and then at some point just decided there was more to life than what I was putting into it, and I decided to start speaking my mind, so here we are. Now I stand in front of a flag every day, wear football jerseys, whatever, do my thing. I get to be me, get to say what I want. Little easier platform. I hope you guys like it. Thanks to everybody that's supported me so far. If you don't think this video sucks, please smash the like button. Please leave a comment. Leave me some feedback. I love hearing what you guys think. Please subscribe. Make sure you hit the little bell next to subscribe and select all so that you will get notified when my videos come up. Otherwise, I promise you, YouTube will bury them. You'll never see them. It's just how it works when you're a conservative guy like me and you're speaking your mind. Here we go. So the GOP brought lawsuit against the House today. What is trying to happen? I really want to, I feel like it's incredibly important, like I said already, to make sure you guys kind of understand. And in fairness, I don't totally understand. I watched this thing over and over and over to break down in my simpleton mind what is happening and how I could explain to you guys what's happening. Because I kind of got it, but I wanted to sound like I knew what I was saying. So here we go. Let me know in the comments, like I said, how I do. So here's what's happening. Nancy Pelosi is trying to, she presented a resolution to vote by proxy. What does that mean exactly? So let me tell you what that means. They're essentially claiming that they can't be there to vote on things right now. It's really weird how they do it though, and I'm going to break down why it's weird. You guys, again, in the comments, tell me why if you think it's weird as well, but this is what happens. They're giving up their vote. A bunch of representatives, I'll tell you how many here in a moment, so stick with me, but a lot of representatives that people of this country have voted in to speak for them, to be their voice, to represent them. A whole bunch of them are saying, we can't make it to vote on these laws. So we're going to get into what those laws are and why I think they're dodging it. But it's a big deal, and like I said, whatever you guys hear about it will be a lie, if you hear about it at all. So, again, they're saying that they can't be there. They're using the virus as the reason. Even during the press conference, they made sure they had that one representative. I don't even know who his name is, but I'm really disappointed whoever he is. He's standing back there with the mask on camera. At one point, he stormed off. I don't know what he got so upset about. I'm sure that'll come out later. But they are just using this as a way to steal. They're using this as a way to steal elections and to force laws, to force legislation without your representative being there. This is how this works. And really quick, before I tell you, listen to this. This is the only time, and I wrote it down here, hold on. 231 years, the only time in 231 years they will have voted by proxy. So this isn't something normal that happens. The media will go, this is normal, it's not that big a deal. It's a big deal. Never in 231 years has the House ever voted by proxy like this. Never. Let me bring up some stuff really quickly that Mike McCarthy, what's the word I'm looking for here? I had a dumb moment, I apologize. Mike McCarthy said it. Let's just leave it there. I'm simple, guys. Public education. Don't expect too much out of me. He said, in 231 years, these are the things we've overcome to make it to fulfill their constitutional duty, which is to meet and assemble. Yellow fever, 1793, still found a way to meet. During the Civil War, they still found a way to meet. The burning of the Capitol in 1812, Congress still met that year. The Spanish flu in 1918, the Congress was still able to meet through all of that. During 9/11, we all know what that year was like. That's more recent. That's one that some of us can maybe relate to a little more. Congress didn't have to vote by proxy that year. They were still all able to fulfill their constitutional duty and represent us like they said that they would. We've never had this level of fear. There's never been this kind of panic. There just hasn't. This is about Nancy Pelosi protecting and empowering herself. There are, and this is, again, credit to Mike McCarthy for breaking all this down. And there are a bunch of other people that I'm going to use some of their stuff here. Some of them, which I got their names, some of them I didn't. But this is all really good stuff. Don't leave. This video, I want you to go, I'm going to link it in the description, by the way, like I do all my sources. And thank you to everybody who does a good job, and I use your information as my inspiration for my videos. They're in the description. So will the video that I'm talking about that happened this morning, where the GOP filed a lawsuit against Nancy Pelosi for what she's trying to do with this proxy vote. Here's what's happening. Mike McCarthy said, Congress has never flinched from its constitutional duty to uphold and assemble. Never, in 231 years. 71 Democrats, as of right now, and it's only Democrats, keeping in mind. I think it's only Democrats. Don't quote me on that. Go back. I might be wrong. But 71 Democrats have given their vote to another member of the House. 71 Democrats. That's a lot of Democrats that have told their constituents, the people that voted them in, oh, hey, by the way, I know you guys are going to work and trying to do your thing and trying to scrape through and doing what you got to do. And I know there's essential workers now, there are people doing it, but I can't go do what I told you I would do. So I'm going to give this other dude from California or from wherever the ability to choose for us during these serious issues that are going to arise during Congress. They're giving your vote to someone else. You voted them in, they're letting someone else decide for you. You should not be okay with this in any way, shape, or form. 71 Democrats have given their vote to other members. Your vote is being decided by someone else. My suggestion to you all, find out if your representative did that. Find out if your representative is one of the 71 Democratic representatives that decided that they no longer spoke for you, that now somebody else spoke for you. They made that decision for you. You voted for them. They now decided you voted for somebody else. And they're going to make some big decisions in your stead, I guess is the word to use there. Instead, it's unreal. You guys should not be okay with this. I would find out if your members did that. If they did, I would never, ever, ever let them in again. And not only that, I would ask for them to resign. That's just me. But I would write them, call them, email them constantly, storm the Capitol, go to their building, knock on their doors, let them know we want you to leave. This is not constitutional. This is not what the Constitution says. What they're trying to do is unconstitutional. Let's talk about why. There's something big coming up in these meetings that they're really, really hiding from, and it's the FISA stuff, the FISA reform. They're trying to jam some FISA stuff down our throats. You all know, and if you don't, I suggest you go back to watch some of my other videos. Real quick recap, the FISA court was abused, probably was in on it, on illegally spying on a lot of Americans, including Donald Trump, Michael Flynn, all these other people. They want to just jam this FISA stuff down our throat right now. And the way they're doing that is by having 71 members of the Democratic Party not show up to make their votes so that all these other representatives can just do the vote for them. So it's giving a very small amount of people a very massive amount of power that they should not have. And our founding fathers went to great lengths to keep them from having. That is what is happening. Make no mistake about it. And there's some big stuff on the docket that's going to come up that very few people are going to have a very big amount of power. But it's not going to happen. This isn't like a fear video, guys. Don't worry. This is unconstitutional. It'll never make it through the Supreme Court. The GOP is filing a lawsuit against Nancy Pelosi. She's a joke. It's not going to happen. But that is what they were trying to do. So when you hear that, whatever you hear on the news in the next couple days or however long this is going to go on, when you hear what they're telling you about what the Republicans and the racists and the sexists and the homophobes and the xenophobes or the xenophobes and you know all the names. When they tell you what we're all up against right now, I want you to know what we're really against right now. And it's this. I got a few more notes. Hang in there, guys. I'm trying. We're at 9 minutes. I think I'm going to make it to about 15 to 17 on this one. Stick in there. I guess there's still so much good stuff. Hang in there, please. I want you to understand what is going on with this. This is not a little thing. This is a big, big thing. Never happened before. 231 years. They're trying to jam a bunch of laws down your throat right now. They're trying to absolutely just decide for our country, go against our Constitution right now. Stick in there, don't leave. Okay, here we go. Another note. One of the members, one of the members of the House is actually voting for 5 states. Getting back to what I said right before this, if you think, oh, it's not that big a deal, they talk, whatever, they're on the same. No. One person in Congress, in legislation, is making a decision about laws for our country, for all of us. One person is making a decision for 5 states. I know I said that 4 times. I don't care. That is super messed up. Not cool, not okay, not going to happen. Again, it won't happen. It's against the Constitution. But that's what they're trying to do. Please tell me you guys are waking up to what the Democratic Party and the deep state and everybody's trying to do to us right now. This is not your old Democratic Party. This is not JFK's Democratic Party. This is not what people think, okay? This is absolute tyranny happening right before our eyes. One person making 5 states' decisions. Moving on. Half of California's Democratic representatives filed to vote by proxy. So half of California's Democratic representatives said that we can't make it. This virus is too scary. I'm afraid. Woe is me. Half of them. That means 19 million people, their votes are now being decided by one person. One person is going to stand in there and make a decision, make rule, and represent 19 million people. While they do that, not okay. Not what our founding fathers wanted. Not constitutional. Not okay. That person is not the elected representative for 19 million people. Most importantly, those 19 million people did not elect that person. This is not okay. This is unconstitutional. I wrote it big. I'm going to say it again. Moving on to what Steve Scalise said. The health risks of staying home. Everybody's trying to ignore the fact. They keep trying to scare us into saying, oh, this virus is still scary. There could be another outbreak. No, it's not. No, there won't. Only the media. There will be another media push, but there's not going to be another outbreak. Make fun of me in the comments. Tell me I'm dumb. I'm not a doctor. Blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all. Steve Scalise, let's talk about the health risks of staying home. How many diagnoses have they missed? How many suicides have there been? Look that up. There has been an increase. How much domestic abuse has there been? A lot of it. How many times have people missed cancer diagnosis now? How many people in this 2-month period would have received a diagnosis that, if caught early enough, could have saved their life? These are real questions, guys. You can't just ignore these things. That's a real question. That really happens. We're going to find out. There will be a lot. There will be a lot of death that happens as a result of us having stayed home. I think they knew that going in. I don't think this is like just a oops. They knew that going in. They'll pretend to kill us with the other thing. They'll say it's killing us. A bunch of people. I would not put that past them. But just so you know, that's kind of something else that should be considered. Steve Scalise hit on it. I thought it was amazing. Another thing, 380 members of the House have been able to meet over the past few weeks. So it's not like they disappeared and they've been too scared and this is like a consistently thing. Like they're all on the same page. They've all been saying this the whole time. They haven't been. And they're just dodging this one time for them to meet. Again, what are they dodging? Ask yourself, what are they dodging? What inside of these meetings are they trying to give those select few people so much power to jam down our throats right now? I would watch very, very closely what happens in this proxy, during this proxy that will not work, that is going to they're going to be sued. It's not going to hold up again. I know I've said that over and over, but for the people who don't stay or came in halfway or whatever, don't worry. I'm not tripping, but it's still to be noted that they're trying to do this, okay? I have a note down here, the FISA bill. I really believe like that's one of the big things. It's one of the big things they're dodging. They're trying to keep everybody from being there, and they're trying to keep everybody from having a voice and having to explain to all of their constituents why they didn't stand up for the stuff that's happening right now that's blatantly obvious that Congress is just going to hurry and sweep under the rug. That's what I think is happening. That's just me. Nobody else said that. I made this video right after I watched all this stuff happen. That's just my opinion, but that's what to me, it's obvious. To me, I see it, and I really think that's what's going on. What else gets jammed through again? Quick note, make sure you pay attention to what else gets jammed through. One more person talked. We're getting close, guys. Hang in there. Liz Cheney. She had some thoughts, and at first I was like, oh, she's going against the grain here. This will be interesting. She actually was of the school of thought that people don't have to be there. She wasn't arguing you guys have to be here or else. Sounded like she kind of was on their side for a minute. She then proceeded to say, what that doesn't mean, though, is that you get to give your vote away to someone else and that someone else gets to vote for 5 states, basically. So, okay, let's talk about the fact that you guys are still trying to push the false narrative that you're scared of this virus. Okay, we'll pretend that's real for a minute. Let's go with that for a minute. Somewhere between someone else voting for 5 states and you being too big of a propagandist to show up for this is the reality. We can still have your vote without you giving it away. This is obvious what they're doing. You're not giving 5 states away to one person. So she kind of nailed that. She basically debunked the whole you're scared of being here theory. Okay, well then you still have to have a vote. You still need to be here digitally somehow, conference calls, whatever it might be. You don't get to give your vote away. You just don't. Also, really quick fun fact. I've said unconstitutional in this video a lot of times. Have you guys written down unconstitutional? Really quick, pause the video, write unconstitutional down, and then write it down like 17 times. It's a long word. Moving on. Okay, we're wrapping it up. Don't leave, we're almost done. Okay, something fun, something else fun. And I apologize for not remembering who said this part. By this time, I was really knowing my video was going to be pressing my length limit. A fun fact, 1793, the yellow fever, okay? Philadelphia at that time was where Congress was meeting, or where the House, what's the word I'm looking for? Where they met. 1793, the population was 50,000 people in Philadelphia. 1793 was during the yellow fever, like I said right before this. 5,000 people died of the yellow fever. 10% of Philadelphia's population died during the yellow fever, okay? They still met that year. Congress still met that year. 10% of the world's population died that year by way of using Philadelphia's numbers. So put that in perspective, 33 million people in the United States or whatever it is, 3 million people die this year. Those leaders would have still met. And Nancy Pelosi is trying to say that we need to vote by proxy and that this is all too scary and that they can't show up and that she wants to give a lot of people's votes to very select few people that we all know we cannot trust. The people trying to do this are the people you know. You might still be fighting it. Some of you might still be fighting it, but you know you can't trust them. And they're trying to give a lot of power to those people we know we can't trust. We cannot let it happen. Thank God for the GOP, for Kevin McCarthy, for Steve Scalise, for, who else was it? Liz Cheney. I missed some names. I'm so thankful for those people and for what they are doing, for them filing a lawsuit, for them keeping this from happening. Any laws, don't freak out, because the news might say they pass all these laws. There might be a bunch of hysteria. Oh my gosh, did you see what they did? They're going to fight it. It won't hold up in court. Do not even trip about one thing that happens during this proxy garbage they're going through. Congress will come together. They're going to make it happen. They made one other note that I'm going to end on. Guys, we're still a young country, not a small country. We're still a young country. I know to us, it's been here forever since we've been born, right? It's always been here. If you really go back and look at time, and this is where one of those things where I've said in other videos, you kind of got to step back, right? You got to get back to 40,000 feet or whatever it is. Again, I'm not a pilot, but You need to step back. This country is young. We're still kind of an experiment. And I think it was Liz Cheney that might have been the one that said that. But we really are. This is still, we don't have it all figured out yet. We, the people, still own this country and run this country. I don't care if they made it a corporation. I don't care what anybody says in my comments about any under-the-table backdoor deals where the country's not ours anymore. Mark my words, this is still our country. But we are still vulnerable. We are still young. And I do believe it is still time for us to stand up. Again, I've said it before. I'm not saying take up arms. I'm saying use your voice. Call your representatives, email your representatives, show up, peacefully protest, tell them who you are, let them know your name. Thank you to everybody who supports this. There is so much going on. I might make another video today. It was only 11 when I started recording this, so thank you again to everybody for the support. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell next, subscribe, come back for the next one. RedRacer video. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.